Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Krishi's Preparatory School. In this video, let us see the introduction of trigonometry. Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics in which all the concepts are dealt with angles. What is an angle? How do an angle form? The basic concepts of the geometry are point. We know that it is the point is a dot which is placed on a paper, and line, a set of points in a straight path lying, is called as a line. Line segment, we know these concepts basically in geometry. Line segment, what is the line segment? The part of a the part of a line having two end points is called line segment. Ray, a part of a line which is having only one end point. So how do we define an angle? Next, after ray, we define an angle in the geometric concepts. How do we define angle? An angle is defined as the union of two rays. An angle is defined as the union of two rays having a common endpoint. Having a common endpoint. So how it will be? Suppose this is one of the ray which I am drawing. OA is one ray, and this is another ray I am drawing. OB is another ray. OA ray and OB ray, both the rays are having a common endpoint O, and the measurement made in middle of these two rays is called an angle. Measurement of these two rays, and the measurement which is made between these two rays is called as an angle. So we denote the angle here. We represent these angles using some Greek alphabets such as theta, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, etc. These are all Greek letters which are used to represent the angles. And we other than these Greek letters, we can represent the angle by mentioning the end point at the in the middle. We know how we know to represent the angle as AOB. We write the rays, and the end point of the end point where the angle is made is mentioned in the middle. So AOB, or you can also say BOA. In this way we represent the angles. Now how do these angles formed? Actually, how I can say that this angle is formed? This angle is formed by making a ray to rotate on the axis of the end point. On the axis of the end point, if the ray starts rotating, a ray starts rotating based on the end point, and it stopped at certain point, then we can say that the angle is made. So the starting point of the ray before it is rotating is called initial side. We call it as initial side. And the ending point of the ray, where the ray is stopped after an angle is made, that ray is called terminal ray. This is called terminal ray. And the measurement which is made in between initial ray and the terminal ray is called as an angle. So the angles are formed by rotating the ray, by rotating a ray based on the end point. So we are fixing the ray at an end point, and we are starting rotation of that ray based on that end point, and it rotated to certain point and it stopped, and we are calling it as terminal ray. So in such a way that the angle is formed. Now there are based on this rotation, the angles can be divided into two types. One is positive angle, another is negative angle. So when the ray starts rotating in anti-clockwise direction and the angle is formed, we call that it as positive angle. If the ray is formed by rotating in anti-clockwise direction, we say that the angle formed is positive angle. Quite opposite to that, if the ray is moving in a clockwise direction, clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. Clockwise direction in a clock, how the hands are moving, the movement of the hands is shown, the direction in which the hands of a clock are moving is called as clockwise direction, and the opposite direction is called as anti-clockwise direction. We can say anti-clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction also. So the angle formed by rotating the ray in anti-clockwise direction is called positive angle, and the angle which is formed by rotating the ray in clockwise direction is called as a negative angle. So in this way the angles can be formed. What happens if the ray is rotated completely once? Like this, the ray started the movement here and then it rotated completely and it regains to its original position. If the ray starts moving, suppose the ray is OA, and the OA ray again it starts rotating and it reached again OA position once again. Then what do we call this angle which is made? This is also a measurement. An angle is made, and this angle is completely revolved once. So we call this angle as complete angle. We call this angle as complete angle. Suppose if the ray is rotated exactly half of the position of this complete revolution, then we call that angle which is formed at the center is a straight angle. We call that it as straight angle. In the same way, suppose the angle made by the rotation of the ray quarter of the complete revolution. We are not taking a complete revolution, we are not taking half of the revolution. Take the quarter of the revolution, then we call that angle which is formed is called right angle. The angle which is formed is called right angle. Okay, now how do we measure these angles? After we see the formation of angle, we are going to check how these angles are measured. Now we have a line segment. We have a line segment. For example, I am drawing one line segment. Now I can measure this line segment length using a scale, and I can say that it is 2 centimeters. So we are measuring the line segments. We are measuring the length of the line segments in centimeter or meter or kilometers. Like that we are measuring, isn't it? So this centimeter is called as the unit of the length of the line segment. In measuring the length of the line segments, the units we take is centimeter. Similarly, angle is also a measurement. We are discussing from the beginning. Angle is also a measurement. Now, how these angles can be measured? These angles can be measured in three different forms, three different systems. In three different systems, we can measure the angles. How we can measure these angles? In three different systems are there to measure the angles. Number one is sexagesimal system. Sexagesimal system, or we can call this as English system. We can call this as English system because the Britishers has defined this system of measuring an angle, so we call it as sexagesimal system or English system. Second one, it is centesimal system. Centesimal system or French system. Yes, French people has discovered, French people has defined measuring of angle in this way. That's why we are calling it as centesimal system or French system. Third one is radian measure. Radian measure. Radian measure is used all over the world. That's the reason we call it as circular measure. So there are three different types of measurements in which the angles can be measured. One sexagesimal system, another centesimal system, the third is radian measure. Now how you are going to define these systems and how you are going to define the unit of an angle? Let us see. We are going to define the unit of an angle based on the complete angle. We already discussed what is a complete angle. If a ray completely rotates once, it takes one revolution completely and it gains its own position once again, we say that a complete angle is formed, and this complete angle is divided into some equal parts. They are divided into some equal parts. These equal parts, depending upon these equal parts, the units of an angle are defined. How they are divided and how these different systems we are learning in these different systems, how we are learning the measurement of an angles. So let us see here. See, this is a tabular form which is showing. This is a tabular form which is showing three different systems. Here in this tabular form, this the first system is hexadecimal system, and here I mentioned number of equal parts. Means the complete revolution is divided into some equal parts, and based on that equal parts, the unit is been defined. So, sexagesimal system, English people has divided the complete revolution into 360 equal parts, and each part they named it as degree. Each part they named it as degree. Degree is denoted like this: 1 upon a circle. 1, we will write a small circle as a power. So it indicates the symbol of degree. So 360 parts they have divided the complete revolution. Each part they are saying that it is degree. So it becomes the unit of an angle in sexagesimal system. It is clear that in a complete revolution, when complete revolution is made, complete angle is formed. So completely 360 equal parts they are rotating, making. So that 360 equal parts are called as 360 degrees, because each equal part I'm saying it as a defining it as degrees. So 360 degrees. Straight angle, it is exactly half of it, so 180 degrees. Right angle, it is exactly quarter of the complete revolution, so I'm saying it as 90 degrees. Again they have divided the degree equal part. They took one equal part and they took one equal part, one of the equal part they have taken, and they divided that also into 60 equal parts. And this equal part is called as a minute. It is called as a minute. So 1 degree is equal to the 60 minutes. Again, each minute is been taken and divided into 60 equal parts, and we are calling that it as seconds. Seconds we indicate with these two dashes so upon them, upon the number. So 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So in this way, the English people has defined the angle, the complete angle they have divided into 360 parts. Each equal angle they are calling it as a degree, and the complete angle then it becomes 360 degrees, and half of it, the straight angle, becomes 180 degrees. Quarter of that, it is 90 degrees. Each degree is divided into 60 equal parts, and each part is called as a minute, and each minute is again divided into 60 equal parts, and that is called as second. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. These minutes and seconds are the subunits of an angle. Subunits of an angle. Okay, now we are going to the centesimal system. In centesimal system, the French people has divided the complete revolution into 400 equal parts. Each part they called it as grade, and they denoted like this: 1 power g, small g, 1 power g. This is the symbol. And now complete revolution will become from 400 equal parts, so 400 grades. We read it as 400 grades. This is 360 degrees, and we are calling it as 400 grades. And half of it, 200 grades, means straight angle is 200 grades. Right angle, quarter of it is 100 grades. Now each grade they took again, they made into 100 equal parts, and they said that 100 minutes. And each minute they took and they divided into 100 equal parts, again they called it as 100 seconds. So in this way, two units were defined. One is degree, another is grade, based upon the divisions which is made on the equal divisions which is made in the complete angle. The third measure is radian measure. Now radian measure, we need a little circle concept over here. We are going to define a radian. Radian measure means the unit of an angle is radian. How do we define a radian? Now if you take one circle, there is a circle. If you take one circle, let me draw. So there is a circle. Now the radius of the circle is r. The radius of the circle is r. Now the radius of the circle is r, and now suppose r is 3 centimeters. R is 3 centimeters. From A, I am taking 3 centimeters of length of the arc. From A, I am taking 3 centimeters of length of arc, and I will get one end point. From that I will join, I will get one more radius, 3 centimeters. So this arc is making an angle at the center. This arc, this arc which is equal in length with the radius is making an angle at the center. This angle is called radian. This angle is called radian. It is denoted by 1 power c. C means a circular measure. No, we are calling, that is why we define it like we denote it like that. But if you don't denote, I mean if no unit is mentioned, it is understood as radian. So how do we define a radian? Radian is defined as the angle made by the arc. The angle made by the of length, arc of length. How much length of arc we are taking? Equal to the radius of the circle at the center is called a radian. So how much radius is there? The same length of arc we are taking, and that length, then that arc making an angle at the center, and that center angle is called as a radian. Come on, I am asking you one question now. What is the circumference of circle? How you define the circumference of the circle? Formula 2 pi r. Circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. How many times r is there? 2 pi. 2 pi times r is there. So if I consider one length of the arc as r, how many arcs I may get? 2 pi. Very good. How many arcs I can get? 2 pi. 2 pi arcs we can get. That is the reason number of equal parts are divided into 2 pi. What is pi here? 22 by 7 only. It takes its own value. So number of equal parts is 2 pi. So the complete revolution will become 2 pi, and the straight angle will become pi, because half of it 2 gets cancelled. 2 pi, 2 pi by 2, half of it, no, half the complete revolution, 2 gets cancelled, pi. And quarter of the revolution means 2 pi by 4, so 2 ones are 2 twos are, it becomes pi by 2. So quarter of the revolution is denoted by pi by 2. So in this way, angles can be measured in three different units. One is degree, and another is grade, another is radian. We know till now only the degrees we learned from the primary classes. We have learnt only the unit degree, and we learnt all of them in this concept, in this unit only. Now we are going to define these three different units. Now few things are there which regarding this measuring of an angles, few things are there which you need to remember. Now see here, the radian is the measure of an angle and the radius is the measure of a line segment. See, do not confuse between the words radius and radian. Radius is this one, the line segment, isn't it? The length of the line segment. Radian means this one, the measurement of an angle. So radian is different from the radius. And as I said, if there is no units, if no units are mentioned for an angle, then the units are supposed to be radians. For example, if you want to write 60 degrees, if the children are supposing to write the 60 degrees, and they have written like this 60, they forgot to mention the circle above, degree symbol above, then it becomes 60 radians. Until and unless you mention the 0 here, if you mention the 0, it becomes degrees, otherwise else it becomes a radians. Now there is a small relation between the length of the arc and the radius and angle at the center. So this is the circle and this is the length of the arc. L is the length of the arc, R is the radius of the circle, theta is angle at the center. Angle at the center. Now using this, I can write one formula. L is equal to R theta. L is equal to R into theta. But this theta is to be taken in radians. Theta is considered to be radians. Now the units of an angles in three systems are related as, can we relate these three systems? Yes, we can relate these three systems by these relations. 180 degrees is equal to pi radians is equal to 200 grades. This is also the relation which we can take using a straight angle, and this is also the relation we can show using the right angles. D by 90 degrees is equal to C by pi by 2 is equal to G by 100. D means degree, C means radian, G means grade. Okay, but we use this relation 180 degrees is equal to pi radians is equal to 200 grades. We use this relation because to convert the one degree, one unit into another. This relation is used to convert one unit into another. Now here is a problem. I converted grades into radians. Convert 72 degrees into grades and radians. Now I took this is solved in a unitary method only. You know unitary method. For one chair, cost of one chair is for example 500 rupees. Cost of seven chairs, 7 into 500 rupees. So similar way, the unitary method, I'm following unitary method here to change the one unit of angle into another unit. So given angle is theta is equals to 72 degrees. Now 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. So 72 degrees will become how much? 72 degrees into pi divided by 180. Here while calculating you don't substitute pi value. You keep it as it is when you are turning into radians. Okay. So in this way we can calculate. Similarly into grades. 72 into 200 grades. For 180 degrees it is 200 grades. For 180 degrees it is 200 grades. So 180 degrees 200 grades. Then 72 degrees how much? 72 degrees into 200 by 180, it is calculated like that, and then we can say that the value is 80 grades. Okay, now we have converted degrees into grades and radians by using unitary method. Okay, fine, let us go for this thing. Second conversion, this is in radians. Pi is there, you identify the angle, pi is there, it is in radians. Radians is converted into degrees. Radians is converted into degrees. How it is converted into degrees? Instead of pi you can substitute directly 180. Only in the case, in this case, only in the case of conversion of radians to degrees, you can substitute pi is equal to 180 degrees. In other things you cannot. So if you substitute like that, it will be turned into directly degrees. So today in this video we have learnt few things, how angles are formed, and how angles are denoted, and how angles are how many types of angles are there, and how we are going to measure them. So these all concepts, this measuring the angles in different units, in 10th at present they removed the session, they removed the syllabus, but it is better to learn. So that's the reason I took this concept in the introduction part, and in the next video we are going to take the introduction of trigonometry, and we are going to learn about what is trigonometry, and how the sides are measured, and I require thank you.